look at this. It's my cool video game demos brick. Catch! And while that brick may have caused severe brain damage, these games probably won't. Anyways, with the release of February's Steam Next Fest, there's a whole slew of games to play and only a few days left to do it. So today on John's Big Bag, Episode 2, we're going to check out the 5 most radical demos for you to try out. So without further ado, next slide. Sitting at number 5 is Ball of Terror. Recently, I've been delving into the addictive thralls of deck building games, and Batro is one such that harkens back to poker itself, while mixing in a heavy dose of roguelike action to keep the blood pumping and the replayability high. The game builds on your knowledge of poker while throwing in wacky jokers and game-altering abilities that force your hand. It's funny because it's a deck building game. All in all, it's a good time, and the demo alone feels like something I could sink a ton of hours into. At number 4, we have Lightyear Frontier. There have been a ton of survival games to come out of recent, and this Steam Next Fest was jammed full of them. While Lightyear Frontier isn't necessarily survival, its farming and base building mechanics work to scratch that itch for me, all while offering up a much more laid-back experience. Running around in your mech, tearing down trees, and cultivating a cute little place to live is honestly just such a joy. And with its beautiful visuals and fun mechanics, this game is set up for immense success as it marries its polish with radical innovation. Innovation that uses a lot of what makes the farming simulator games so enticing while removing tedium. It's hard to think that this will fail, and that's why it's on the list. Number 3, Dungeonborne. Dungeonborn is a lot like Dark and Darker. They both take a shot at being an extraction dungeon crawler, and they both have the most generic names I've ever heard. I do think Dungeonborn is quite a bit better than what I played of Dark and Darker though. The enemy variety is larger, the game feels less campy, and I found the world to be a lot more expansive and interesting. The combat is serviceable and really good when playing against the environment. The build variety and extraction intensity is pretty fun due to a good ecosystem, and hopping on with your friends is always a good time because of the funny situations that can crop up. Or so I'm told. Number 2 is Pepper Grinder. Man oh man, is Pepper Grinder awesome. It's my type of game, and the type of game that I love playing at game jams and Steam Next Fest. It's built upon a sand drilling, momentum-based platforming mechanic that makes the active traversal feel so electric as you cut through the air, chaining together sand jumps. In this demo alone, you can already see how far this developer will take this very simple core gameplay loop and stretch it to so many creative dimensions through the use of water, vines, and tricky jumps. It's just such a blast to cut through the sand and collect coins, all while exploring its cute and simple pirate-themed world. And here, at the peak, we find the best game that I played throughout this Steam Next Fest. Oh, and also a bit of gold. Cryp Custodian contains the bones of something truly excellent, from its gorgeous art style to its enjoyable platforming. Cryp Custodian takes elements of Hollow Knight, Hyper Light Drifter, and even Death's Door to create something truly excellent. Not to say that this game is derivative in any way though, it's totally its own thing. It adds a jump button to a genre that fears jumping. It has ease of access, allowing you to soak in the world and not punishing you for your deaths, and its map is clear and concise, allowing you to find your own way through the world. My favorite piece of it though is its hand-drawn Ghibli-esque art style, which absolutely lands what it's going for. All in all, this game is great, and I will absolutely be purchasing it whenever it launches later this year. I always have a blast hopping on a bunch of new experiences within Steam Next Fest, and this one was one of the best I've ever played. The variety of everything on display makes it a no-brainer for any self-respecting gamer. And also me. And while my self-esteem and self-respect might be at an all-time low, at least I have video games. At least I have video games. And now that we're done with that, it's time to talk about our patrons! Big thanks to our patrons, Avon, Bandwagon, Mr. Kairu, and our 2 new patrons. That's 4. I Want an Apple and Spider-Man on my new PS5. Congrats on Spider-Man, and congrats on the PS5. I mean, you could play something up besides Spider-Man too. There's like a lot of games on there. They got Fortnite on there. All right, bye-bye.